Okay, stand on your right leg and we'll draw a circle with the left leg.
Stand on that right. I'll just do it. I can't see you.
I'll do lots of explaining, Tina. Okay, so we stood on the right leg, draw a circle with the left leg and try to join up the circle, no gaps. Swap round. Hi Liz, we can see you. Swap round, standing on the left leg, draw a circle with the right. Suck the tummy in tight to stop wobbling. Give yourself some stability. Yay. Okay. If any of you have got screen sharing on, can you turn it off? Otherwise everyone's going to be looking at you directly. So you should be able to see me in the main screen and then yourself and everybody else in a small screen at the bottom. There we go, that looks like it's working now.
My small screens are at the top.
Oh well, as long as, yeah. Top, bottom, somewhere.
I'm still waiting. I've still got a circle going round and round. So.
Well, we can see you, T. Okay. Okay, so we've done balances on each leg. Just make sure you've done a little bit of both. And then feet slightly apart, almost hip width apart. And we'll just do gentle turns, swinging the arms from side to side. Get the hips moving. And increase the twist. On an exhale, make the twist bigger so you're looking over each shoulder as you come round. Come to the back of the mat and up onto tiptoes. Exhale down, flat feet. Inhale up onto tiptoes. 3 times. Up onto tiptoes and let's come up to the top of the mat, or just 5 steps forward if you haven't got a mat. Coming up into a sun salutation. Look up through the hands. Suck the tummy up. Stretch your neck out so your spine is nice and straight. Bend the knees. And we're sinking down to the mat. Hands flat down if possible. If that's not quite possible, then bend the knees and just take the fingers down to the mat. Big breath in, half lift, hands onto shins. Flatten out the back and look forward. Really stretching the neck out. Bend the knees back down to the mat. Get the hands flat down. We'll keep the right foot where it is. Left foot coming back. Big lunge like you're about to start an Olympic race. Bring the right foot back, level with the left foot. And we're in a long, low plank. Suck the tummy up. Okay, down knees first. Flatten out the feet so the tops of the feet are down on the mat. Bending through the elbows, come down to the mat. And wiggle back so that you've definitely got a bit of space for your head. Okay. Slide the fingers back, we're getting ready for Cobra. So we've got fingertips in line with the shoulders. Elbows tucked in. Flap your wings, tuck your elbows in. Big breath in, lift the chest, peel the chest away from the mat and look forward. Let's wake ourselves up a bit, so looking up, stretch the neck up, looking up to the ceiling, tuck the elbows in. On your next exhale, let's slowly come back down to the mat. Inhale, back to cobra. Take a breath here. So we've just got the chest away from the mat if you can't see me. Oh, sorry, we've got 2 extra people coming in. Sheila, hopefully you're in. Donna, hopefully you're in as well now. Yep. Okay, come down to the mat, take a rest. Big breath in.
Hello.
Hello, we're just doing cobra.
Hi.
So come up for cobra, big breath in, push up, chest peeling away from the mat. Sorry, we've lost our pattern there. Push up through the arms, straighten out the arms, push the chest forward. Take the shoulders back and down, away from the ears, stretch the neck up. Now big challenge, let's see if we can come down slowly. Exhale, slowly bringing the tummy to the mat, the lower part of the ribs. Keep going, control it down. Big breath in, all the way up to upward dog, straight arms, push the chest forward. 2 breaths here. Walk the knees forward, so we're coming into a box position on hands and knees. Flatten out the back, and let's take our hips from side to side. If that feels a bit achy, then just keep it a small movement. If that's feeling good, then let's really take those hips over from one side to the other. Notice if one side won't go over quite as far as the other, then that's the side that needs a bigger stretch today. So for me, that's the left side. So we'll go over to the side that doesn't quite want to stretch very much. Push over and take 2 breaths. And then back to side. Okay, tuck the toes under and we'll come up to downward dog. We want to feel like we can almost get the heels to the floor, so push both heels back. Spread out the fingers so you've got a gap between each finger and the palm is pressed firmly down. Look back to your toes and push the hips up high. Imagine yourself as an upside down V. Okay, let's walk the dog. Exaggerated steps. If you've got a stiff neck, it's quite nice to do a big nod here. Nod the head, look at the toes, then look at the top of the mat. Keep walking the dog. Slowly take the head from left to right, right to left. Okay, if you're feeling energetic, we can jump our feet to our hands, or we can walk them there. Come up to the top of the mat and slowly walk the hands up the legs. Straight up into a sun salutation, everybody. Reaching up. Suck the tummy in, look up through the hands. Bring the hands together. Take the arms slightly back so they're just behind your head and you're pushing your hips forward, getting a gentle curve in the spine. 2 breaths. Straighten back up, make sure your spine is feeling straight, you're feeling long and tall. Bend the knees, sweep the hands down. Fingers down to the mat, maybe even the whole hand down to the mat if that's there for you. Half lift, hands onto shins. Look forward, stretch out your neck. and down to the mat with the hands. Left foot staying forward this time, right foot back in a big lunge. Hands flat down. Good stuff. I can see most of you have got that there. Okay, let's sweep that left foot back. Plank. Suck the tummy up really tight. We want to feel like our belly buttons are trying to touch our spines. If it's there for you, come down in one movement, bending the elbows, keeping the back nice and flat. If that's not quite there, then come down to knees first and then down to the mat. Wiggle back. We want enough space in front of us for lower arms and hands to be pressed flat down. Sphinx pose. Push the arms down. Tilt the head up. Chest pushing forward. 3 breaths here. Walk the hands out to the edges of the mat so that your little finger is touching the edge of the mat. And line up your lower arm so that your elbow is in line with your wrist. Okay, look up, stretch the neck, stretch the chest forward. Exhale, slowly bring yourself down to the mat. Big squeeze through the shoulders to try and get the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, back up. Push the chest forward. Exhale down. Come back up. Let's slide the hands back for cobra. Fingertips in line with the tops of shoulders. Push up to cobra and keep pushing. Push up to upward dog. Walk the knees forward. Flatten out the back. And let's take big circles to get our backs moving. So circle over the wrists and hands, back towards the heels. Change direction. And then walk the knees out to the sides of the mat. So if that's there for you, the knees are touching the edges of the mat. Bring the toes together, toes touching. Push back, so your bottom and your thighs are coming as far back as they can, possibly in contact with the lower leg and the heels. On an exhale, walk the fingers forward. Exhale the chest down as low as you can towards the mat and walk the fingers forward. We've got a big stretch through the arms and the shoulders. With each exhale, try taking the chest a little bit lower, sinking down to the mat. Lift your head slightly and look at your fingertips, so we're really stretching the neck. And then come up, come forward, walk the knees in a little bit so that the knees are level with the wrists, in line with the wrists, and the arms are straight. Okay, big stretch now for shoulders. So we'll take the left arm forward, suck the tummy up, bring the left arm under the right arm, lean down, so we're taking the left shoulder down to the mat. If that feels okay, doesn't feel like too much of a strain on the shoulder, then push the hand along the floor to increase the stretch for the left shoulder. 3 breaths. Slowly back up. I'm going to turn around so I'm not facing away from you, and we'll do the same on the other side. So it's right arm forward, suck the tummy up, right arm under left arm, right shoulder down to the floor. Just check in with your shoulder first before you start stretching. If it feels comfortable here, you feel like you might be able to stretch, then slide the arm further along. 3 breaths. Slowly bring the arm back to the mat and even out. Okay, we'll walk the arms forward, come down to lower arms. So we're on our knees, lower arms are down on the mat. Walk the legs back with toes tucked under, so we're in a really low, long plank. Suck the tummy up, keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Knees down, chest down. Let's take the elbows out. Head down onto hands or down onto the mat, whatever's most comfy for you. And we'll take the left knee out onto the floor at right angles if that works for your hip. If that feels like too much of a stretch, then just slide the knee back slightly. Focus on the breath here. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 3 and out for a count of 3. Slide the knee up along the floor just a touch more till we feel like we've got quite a stretch through the hip, the left hip and the left thigh. Focus back on the breath. Push the right side of the hip down to the mat and the left side as well. So we're really stretching out that hip joint, flattening the middle of the body down to the mat. Focus on the breath, in for 3, out for 3. And if it feels possible, slide the knee up just a touch more so we're at maximum stretch. If that's painful, then slide the knee back to where it was. One more breath here. Slide the knee back to the mat. And walk your legs out as if someone's pulling on your legs. Really stretch them out. Walk your feet away from you. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So it's right knee out onto the floor. Out at right angles if that works for your knee. If not, slide it back a bit. Control the breath. In for 3, out for 3. Try sliding the right knee up along the floor just a touch more. Press the left side of the hip down to the mat and the right. Get that big stretch along the middle of the body. Focus on the breath. If it feels possible, slide that knee up just a bit more. If that's too much, take the knee back. One more breath, in for 3, out for 3. Slide the knee back to the mat and really stretch out those legs, walk the feet away from you. Okay, hands where we had them for cobra. Breath in, lift the chest. Keep lifting, push up, arms straight, and walk the knees forward. Tuck the toes under, back to downward dog. And walk the hands back to the feet. Stay down, knees bent. If it's possible, tuck the fingers underneath the toes. If that's not quite there for you, then take the hands either as low as you can on the leg or fingers on top of the feet. So we're getting a good stretch through the back of the legs. Bend the knees and then straighten. Feeling that stretch on the hamstrings each time we bend and straighten. Take one hand out from under the foot, under the toes rather, and the other. Bend the knees a bit more, and let's slowly walk the hands up the legs, straightening out, and roll the shoulders backwards and forwards. Okay. Stand with the feet a comfortable distance apart. On a breath in, we're going to really shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And on an out breath, pretend you've got no bones. Relax everything. Okay, 3 times. Breath in. And out. In. Out. One last time. And let's slowly come down to the mat, sitting down. So Navasana boat pose. We've got knees bent, heels pressed down to the mat. Lean back slightly so that we've got a V shape formed with the thighs and the torso. Hold on to the thighs to start with because we might be a bit wobbly. And let's lift the heels away from the floor, hover the feet. If you've got this without too much wobbling, then take the hands away. 3 breaths. I can see some grimaces on faces. Let's come back down, lean forward to relax the tummy. Okay, come back to where we were, and this time make it a bit tougher by lifting the lower legs so they're parallel to the mat. You choose whether you want to hold on to thighs to balance or make it a bit tougher taking the arms out. 5 breaths. You got this. Well done, everybody. Come back down. Lean forward, relax the tummy. Okay, back to where we were, legs up. Let's see if we can straighten the legs this time. It's quite helpful to see yourself on video so you can see whether you have got your legs straight. Holding on, balancing, 3 breaths. Come back down. Tough one. Okay. Let's bring our feet together. Holding the feet together, soles pressed together. We'll walk, Alexa stop. We'll walk our bottom towards our heels, bring the heels in towards the feet. Heels in towards the body rather. Leaning forward, use your elbows to apply a little bit of pressure to the lower leg. With each exhale, we're looking down to the floor and leaning just a bit further forward. So we're building up some pressure in the hips and the pelvis, stretching out the inner thigh. If that feels quite challenging, then on an inhale, come back up, straighten out the back. Exhale, come back down. Leaning forward, stretching out. Okay, take the legs out. I can see Ghost is joining in there.
Yeah. The stairgates come down.
Oh no. Legs straight, wiggle your knees. Take your feet around in circles. So take your legs wherever's comfy, whether that's out like this or crossed, whatever works for you. Arms nice and comfy, and let's just calm our breathing down. Breathe in, take the chest up towards the ceiling. Try and keep the knees low if you've got your legs crossed. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Send the exhale down to the hips. Three more breaths. I'm just going to come a bit further forward so I can see you all a bit more clearly. Okay, let's bring our hands together, elbows out, firmly press the hands together. And let's take 3 breaths here. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. And the dogs as well. Namaste. Thanks everyone. See ya. Bye.
Get off.
Hey, Dad, I don't know what it's doing. She said to people to turn off their sharing, so I don't know, it's just not doing anything. I think you're going to have to come out the app.
Oh. And we've ended. I could hear you breathing more than me.